What's the deal, YouTube? It's your boy Next Gen 720, and I am back with another video. You say he. I'm in here with my brother Kratos. I think Moss might be in here too. Yesterday, was it yesterday or was it the day before yesterday? Was it? It might have been yesterday. Day before yesterday. Sony came out and confirmed the specs of the PlayStation 5. Some specs and some features of the PlayStation 5. Shut the internet down. Everyone was ecstatic. Like I said, new time, new hardware. Everybody loves new hardware. I guess not to be outdone. Now we're getting some more leaks, some more rumors. Actually, let me go to the article here. Let me bring it up myself. Yeah. Where the hell are you? It says here, next gen Xbox reportedly more powerful than the PlayStation 5. It says this week Sony Interactive Entertainment officially announced the PlayStation 5 and revealed even some more details and specs about the next generation PlayStation. Do you have that article right there up in front of you?
I got it up, man.
Do me a favor, because you read from the period on, brother. I ain't got my specs, and I'm about blind as a bat back here.
Okay, so the next gen Xbox is reportedly more powerful than the PS5.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And so what we have here, it is actually the code name for it is Scarlet, and it'll be more advanced than the PS5. What is exactly meant by that isn't clear, but it suggests that it'll be more powerful and perhaps have more features added than what Sony's cooking up. Now, this source comes from Bowden, an insider. He has a known source. He's been
accurate in the past,
accurately for years. Yeah. And think about it, the X is more powerful than the Pro, and especially if the PS5 comes out before the Scarlet and the Anaconda, whatever the code names they're using for the next gen platforms.
Yeah. It says included in these details was word that the console will be backwards compatible with the PlayStation 4. Here's the thing about that, as far as Sony, the PlayStation 4 being backwards compatible with the PlayStation 5. It's a no-brainer. They're using x86. Some people were saying no, that the PlayStation 5 won't be backwards compatible with the PlayStation 4. To me, that didn't make any sense to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I understand it's a business, but that's a no-brainer. You want to build on top of what you already have. Now, as far as the PlayStation 3, we all knew that used the cell processors, and that was, how you say, kind of sketchy. You know what I mean? It was very hard to develop for. But as far as if they're using x86, which the next Xbox and what we have now in the PS4 and the Pro and PlayStation 5, all using x86 architecture. So that's not going to change anytime soon. So how you say, no gamer left, you can bring everything along with you, including your library. But one of the things they did talk about the day before yesterday in the article, it says here, which is, you're more of the techie guy than me. It says here that backwards compatible with the PS4 and can boast light and load times 19 times faster than that of the PlayStation 4. And they was talking about cold booting up, like from the SSD. Like, what do you mean?
So what happened is Mark Cerny got those guys in a room. He booted up the PlayStation 4 Pro, and he was playing Spider-Man. Now they did a fast travel, and on a normal PlayStation 4, the load times were in between 15 to 19 seconds.
Okay.
But they booted up a PlayStation 5 and played that exact same game and did a fast travel, and it went 0.8 seconds. That was pretty much instantaneous to do the same thing. So that's how fast it would be as far as loading, all your textures, loading your levels, stuff like that. So guys, I think the days of waiting and loading games are over, at least for the PlayStation.
Okay.
Now, rumors have it that this is proprietary. This is proprietary technology that they're using. That this tech isn't even out, not even on a PC.
Okay.
So, it's from what I'm hearing, it's going to be based off the NVMe hard drive memory architecture, but it's going to be next level. So I'm not sure. Again, like I said, it's supposed to be proprietary. So this technology will not be in the next Xbox or anything like that. This is something that Sony has manufactured.
Oh, you talking about far as their hard drive?
Yes, as far as their hard drive.
Wow.
Yeah. So if you can boot from one game to another and boot up
Instantaneously.
isn't that doing what the Google Stadia said that you can do? How you can just boot up a game and automatically be in there?
Okay, all right. Now listen, I am what you call a C. How you say it? Sometimes I put the C in casual. Sometimes I might put the C in Caucasian. Right, but check this out. Right now, as solid state drive, I have an SSD in my $12,000 PC right now. Right.
Yeah.
Now, what what as far as you think that Sony could lock down that gave the Nintendo and nobody else? Because SSD drives have been around forever. I don't.
That's true. And so, like, even in your computer, when you boot up to Windows,
Yeah, that I have. Listen, I have my OS and everything I'm gonna use.
Yeah.
Right quick, I have that on my even game. Well, I don't play many games, but even if the few games that I did play, like Gears of War, I used to have Gears of War. I have boot that from SSD, so that it'll come on right away. But as you said Sony, they patent something. I mean, what? I don't understand.
Yeah, this particular drive that allows this technology, this is their proprietary chips that they're using in this particular SSD. So again, they haven't released a lot of information. A lot of it is on the NDA. It's their proprietary stuff. So we won't be seeing this particular stuff in other systems.
All right, hold on. If you, okay, all right, we play. He said it probably is advanced next gen. All right, it says here load time 19 times faster. You see the top line, which is that's it. While Sony PlayStation 5, it said can boast load times over 19 times faster. I can read from right there on for me.
Okay.
It said that said. While you see it, I'm squinting. I need some goddamn glass. It says that said, while Sony's PlayStation 5 sounds exciting and promising, it apparently isn't as advanced as the next-gen Xbox, or at least this is what the new report alleges. So taking to Twitter, journalist Bowen, citing multiple insiders, has said that the next-gen Xbox, codenamed Xbox Scarlet, will be more advanced than the PlayStation 5. What this exactly means isn't clear, but it suggested it would be more powerful and possibly more feature-loaded than what Sony has cooking up. I'm going to stop that right here. I'm just going to talk to you. And again, I did a show. Do so many damn shows. A while ago, and I was privy to some DMs, and in these DMs you had, fuck it, it is what it is. I don't care. They're not gonna like Mike Ybarra. You had Phil Spencer. You had Albert Pinello. Who else was in these damn DMs? Albert Pinello, Mike Ybarra, Phil Spencer. Greenberg wasn't in there. Somebody else, and two other people. Two other people I'm not going to say. They may not have some job security, but anyway. And I showed them to posts, and I even actually I did. You might have been on the show, maybe not. They saw them, but anyway, and they were talking. This is right after Albert Pinello fired. They got ousted or whatever, and he was talking to a certain individual, and he was talking about how Google came out and announced Project Sting. And then you remember, like a day or 2 days later, Microsoft did a little quick second commercial about xCloud or something. And Albert Pinello was like, basically, this was a knee-jerk reaction to what Google was doing, right? This is before we knew, before Google started the beta, this, that, and the other, and before we knew even that much more about xCloud, right? I did a video, and I might go back and find the link, and you got the actual DMs. I had to scribble some of the names out, right? And somebody, a certain individual came like, bro, you can't show those DMs. Those was given to me. But I ain't trying to be messy. I ain't trying to make nobody lose their job. But I always tell you guys, you'd be surprised at who I know and what I know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is what it is. Now, but even in those very set DMs, they were talking about being the most powerful. And them never ever relinquishing the power crown when it comes to, power. They like saying they have the world's most powerful console. Now, yesterday, day before yesterday, we talked about it on air. Sony came out of nowhere and was like, and confirmed some of these specs. And of course, it caught the gaming industry by storm. Let everything go. Well, you know what I mean? So like, damn, they're not even showing no hardware. They're not coming to E3, and they're just confirming some things. They're talking about booting 19 times faster. You know what I mean? Yada yada yada. You know what I mean? So if I even said to you, I said either this thing extremely confident or what they have, then they know that Microsoft can't match that or can't touch that, or they don't care. So it's still gonna come down to the game. This is a question. Like again, at the start of the generation, right? Maybe this make me more sense. We judge games by what we see. We all know that the PlayStation 4 was more powerful than the original Xbox, right? What about this generation that comes out and the Xbox is on paper or whatever the case is more powerful than the next PlayStation, right? Yeah. They got the better version of the multiplats. Yeah. And don't nobody really have exclusives at the beginning of the generation. You know, they don't really come on till later on. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know, do you think that can change the tide for Microsoft? They come out and at bat got the world's most powerful and they're at the same price or under. Remember, the PS4 was more powerful and it was $100 cheaper. What if Microsoft was able to do something like that, in your opinion?
They have to get back the mind share. The mere fact that Sony has they forwent their exclusives, meaning a software that gives you a particular reason to buy that hardware. That means that's the only way you're going to be able to play that game is by buying that hardware. That's what I mean by the reason to buy it. I think they're still in a hole from that front. I would like them to roll back what they said about that. I would like them to go ahead and hold something near and dear to their heart and show people, hey, if you want to play these particular games, you got to buy our platform. Give the people something to fight for and to own. If they can do that, I think they'll be back in the race. But again, they need to get rid of the stigma that they have. Right now, Xbox is known for Halo, Gears, and Forza, and I think the masses are tired of that. And
for sure.
The rest of the software titles have been 50s and 60s, so there's really nothing to stick out. So right now, if they can come and show that they have comparable games to what the PlayStation have on their side versus exclusives, and they have the more powerful hardware, and they're getting the better multiplats, and they have a better messaging, and the price is on point, I think they can be back in the game. I think they can be competitive. I don't think they'll win worldwide, but at least in America, they can be back in contention.
All right, this is the last thing it says. So that said and clear how the next Xbox could be more advanced than the PlayStation 5 with both 8K graphics, insanely fast load times, ray tracing, 3D audio, basically everything you find in a high-end PC at the moment. In other words, if the next Xbox is indeed more advanced technically, that will have to be quite a piece of hardware, which is just a hefty price point, unless Microsoft is willing to eat some of the big losses up front. Now I see my man D Crap Raymond talking about some $7 price. I don't. Microsoft is not releasing a $7 goddamn console. Ain't nobody releasing a $7 goddamn console.
Here's the thing, Z.
Yeah.
It's hard to say because think about it. Microsoft is supposed to be releasing 3 new consoles. So what if the Anaconda, the top end, is the $700, and then they release something comparable to the X, or some maybe the streaming box, and maybe the X below it, or make the X mid-grade.
So, you talking about 3 straight off the bat?
Yes.
Oh man, I don't know what they're man. Now they are releasing supposed to be a streaming, but they just releasing the Xbox set, right? You still got that. I don't know. So, but they supposed to have been releasing one.
Yeah, a lesser version of the Anaconda, the top dog. So yeah. Those are 2 systems right there. And if you count the sad that they just,
Now here's the thing about him. This is my thing. If we get the hell up out of here, right? If they're releasing one slightly less powerful, or more, than how you say, than the Anaconda or whatever, right. It still has to be cheaper than what Sony standard box is. From the rim, Sony, you're not going to get the PlayStation 5 for less than $500. They can't unless the Anaconda or whatever the Scarlet is the same specs as the PlayStation 5 and same specs, and that's $500. Fine, you know what I mean? Then cool. And if they got one above that totally wipes the ass with the PS5 and the Anaconda, I'm cool with that. You know what I mean? But they can't come up with a console that's less powerful than the Anaconda, say it's $500, and it's weaker than Sony's standard PlayStation 5. It's going to be a lose-lose situation all over again. What I mean is that, Maverick or whatever it's going to be called, if it's $400, right? Yeah. It's $404, and it's more anemic, a lot more anemic than the $100 version of the PlayStation 5. But hey, Microsoft got the big dog for $700. It's not going to work. If they're gonna put out, that's a lot of hardware. I don't see them releasing 3 consoles at one time in November. But if they were to do that, that's we're gonna see the kind of has to be heads and. I'm not talking about when it comes to digital foundry side. You know how they do with the side by side comparison. It has to be night and day above what Sony's offering for $700. Now, me and you know, we're gonna get the big dog regardless. $700. Now, I mean, this is what we do, right? But again, if they got the Maverick or whatever that's going to be called, and if that's on par or under par with the, what do you call that shit? The PlayStation 5, it has to be no more than $300, $350.
Exactly.
My opinion.
Now, here's the thing. They're going to come out with this system. They're going to show this system maybe at E3. We don't know.
They said they were.
Yes. Even if Sony has a weaker system, right? Even if they have a weaker system, maybe even a cheaper system, we don't know. And let's say Microsoft has a 15 to 16 teraflop system, and Sony comes out with a 10 to 12 teraflop system. But if Sony shows you The Last of Us and Ghost of Tsushima and God of War 2 and Spider-Man 2 in those games, a little demo, sizzle reel of that, and Microsoft comes out and show you Halo, Gears, and Forza looking pristine, which one do you think the masses are going to be more trustworthy, or what do you think they're going to flock to? That's the $1 million question.
Here's the thing, $1 million question. If Sony was smart, day one, whether it's true or not, Ghost of Tsushima is going to be big, right?
Yes.
But again, I look at a game like Ghost of Tsushima that speaks to the hardcore.
You think so?
Yeah, just like I look at that like a Tenchu type game. You know what I mean? Yeah. Or even the game. Look, Shadows Die Twice. That's something that speaks to the hardcore, not the casual. And we all know it looks amazing. Yeah. If Sony's when they're coming out, and let's be honest, traditionally speaking, Sony hasn't had their big hitters day one. You had the Killzone, the Nax, the Rezo Gun, the Tropico 5s, where they going to have to show off a glimpse of Spider-Man 2. Yeah. All the way. They're going to have to do a season, you know, a trailer like this, especially if you want someone to come out day one in $500. Now, I know rumor has it Guerrilla Games is working on a new multiplayer goddamn game. I know, maybe you may I ain't like none of the goddamn kill zones, you know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean? So, besides that, what you're going to have there, this is going to be very important before we get the hell out of there, you're going to have the Call of Duties, right?
Yep.
You're gonna have whatever big multiplayer comes out again. The Battlefield,
the Star Wars, the Battlefield.
Yeah, those games right there, because they're gonna be on the X, they're gonna be on the Pro, and this is it's important for Microsoft and Sony, right?
Yeah.
The multi-plat games, the Assassin's Creeds, the NBA 2Ks, the Maddens. Maybe we might have Grand Theft Auto by then. Those games have to look head and shoulders above what we're already getting. I give you an example. You know what sold more Xboxes and more PlayStation 4s at the start of this generation? You wouldn't even believe the game. I was talking to one of the guys. I'm not gonna say no names. You know, from over there in Redmond. You know what was the selling point?
What?
NBA 2K 14. You remember that leap from that last NBA we had on the 360 and the PS3 to that next generation when we got, and we was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
It wasn't that dog shit that's Call of Duty. You remember? They talking about, even though it was 720p on the Xbox and IGN gave an edge to the PlayStation, they said because it's 1080p, because both versions was in 720p. Nah. It was that game NBA 2K of 13 looked amazing. Remember they had the new engine, the sweat. Oh my god, the PC, it was so crazy. The PC version didn't even get that game. That was only for consoles, you know what I mean? That's what's going to have to be there day and date, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because again, you're going to have the Pro. They're still going to be selling the Pros. They're still going to be selling the X's. You know what I mean? I surmise that by next year around this time, hopefully, the X and the Pro probably about $250, $300. You know what I mean? $250 You know what I mean? And they still going to be selling those. You know what I mean? But those games have to look night and day. You know what I mean? And of course, you know, some exclusive software won't help it out. But anyway, thank you for rocking. Go.
I was just gonna say real quick that the rumors when before the last Sony, before Sony acknowledged the rumors that was we're looking at the launch games for the PS5 to be Gran Turismo 7, Horizon Zero Dawn 2, and a couple of other games. And those are some big hitters for launch. So maybe Sony is like, look, in order to push this system ahead of the competition or something like that, we need to give them some big bangers up front to get it kickstarted. So what do you think about that?
But here's the thing. We are talking about Rockstar. Rock Greedy. Grand Theft Auto 6 is coming out on the PS4 and the Xbox One. You know why? Because you have over 100 million PS4s and 40 million Xbox One. So that's potentially at least 60 million customers that they can sell that game to.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen is they're going to get it, you know, 1080p 30 or whatever on a standard console, upscale 4K 30 on the Pro and the X, and then on the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox, whatever it's going to be called.
Yo.
Hello?
Yo, what up, man?
Oh, shit, this guy here. Oh, God, Jesus Christ. That's
Alex. We live or
no? We're doing a video. We ain't live. We about to just cut the regular video. But stay there.
Oh, my bad. Let me get up out of here, man.
No, we come right back in. We ain't gonna win. So as I was saying, it's gonna be 4K 60 on you know, on the X and on the Pro. I'm sorry, not the X, on the Xbox 2 and the PlayStation 5, and that's gonna be the selling point. And that's gonna be the selling point for a lot of those games going forward. They're gonna be, you know, 4K. They're gonna be 30 on the standard hardware, 60 on the newer hardware, until third party stop. Then they've probably been doing it for a while. Of course, a cross-gen development that's going to probably last a lot longer this generation than the next generation they did last generation, because they're all x86. Until engines change, I don't think engines is going to change anytime soon. Until engines change, so we start using Unreal Engine 5, and you know, as things start becoming a little bit more demanding. But that's just my opinion. You know what I mean? But and then we can talk about those lists of games, and we about to go live after this right here. So we're double working. But anyway, thank you for rocking out with us right quick. Quick little video. My man said a $700. I don't know what kind of crap talking about, a $700 goddamn play Xbox. I don't know, crap on some bullshit. Maybe I might do a one-on-one with crap. Maybe Barry the Hack should do a one-on-one to throw his ass up under the bus, man. Let me know what you guys think. We out of here, man.